Falcons fans, today's episode is all about Dee Alford. Believe it or not, in our last episode, I saw a bunch of people get down in the comment section. They're like, why doesn't Moose talk enough about Dee Alford? Well, ask and you shall receive. I think Dee Alford, as I can admit as well, probably was a little too harsh on the kid a little bit earlier on throughout the season. And I think rightly so at some points. There were a ton of games where he just got absolutely cooked, like burnt toast. From the preseason throughout the earlier parts of the season, it didn't look great. But recently, Dee Alford has been unbelievable. So now the Falcons have a tough decision to make. They really do. Why? Because Dee Alford is playing at a level right now that could warrant him being the starting outside corner over a guy like Mike Hughes. And let's be completely honest, Hughes is old. It's not that he's been playing terribly, but he's not the long-term future for this franchise. So the question now surrounding Dee Alford is this: is he worthy of the starting cornerback 2 spot in 2026? Because for the rest of 2025, I think you're going to see kind of a rotation of what he's been in the nickel, now with Billy Bowman Jr. out. But could he slide his way outside for the remainder of his career with the Atlanta Falcons? So here's what I wanted to do. I wanted to highlight the last 5 starts that Dee Alford's has, because in the last 5 starts, that's really where he's been able to showcase his ability. 23 tackles, 5 PBUs, 1 INT, a coverage grade of 51. Okay, that's not great. But a pass rush grade of 81.0. Interesting. What's one thing that I've been very complimentary of with Dee Alford over the last couple of games? His ability to close out on tackles. He's been exceptional in that area. Coverage-wise, it's not been great. He's not the stickiest defender, although it's gotten stickier since the beginning of the season. He still is allowing, by the way, in 2025, a 100.7 passer rating. You're probably looking at that going, Moose, that sucks. So why on earth are we talking about Dee Alford being the outside corner? Well, as crazy as it sounds, he's actually a shit ton better than he was last year. Let's just take a look side by side. So the last 2 seasons, we're only going by starts, not total games played, just by starts. In 11 starts in 2024, Dee Alford was able to garner a 117.9 quarterback rating to this year's 5 starts at 100.7. That's better. Touchdowns allowed in 11 games started in 2024, he had 8. Now he's only got 2. His missed tackle percentage has gotten better this season at 9.3. And he's only given up 269 air yards to the 428 air yards that he gave up in 2024. So there is improvement. Is Dee Alford ever going to be a lockdown cornerback 2? No. But has he shown enough to get that outside cornerback start next year? It remains to be seen. I do acknowledge that he's getting better. I don't think anyone would argue that. But is it good enough? That's what we have to ask ourselves, because now we've seen the onslaught of this Falcons secondary. We've seen the improvements in the pass rush. Gone are the days where the Atlanta Falcons are no longer a good defensive team. Now there's real expectations from every single player. Jeff Ulbrich had nothing but praise for Dee Alford. But praise can only take you so far. You got to nut up or shut up with the numbers. And so far, if we take a look at the starting corners, A.J. Terrell, Billy Bowman, Dee Alford. Dee Alford is right there with everybody. A.J. Terrell's missed a little bit of time this year. Billy Bowman's now missing more time. He's got a torn Achilles. Dee Alford seems to be the consistent one right now. So his case for making that outside corner start is actually only growing stock. And the rest of the Falcons cornerback depth chart, few and far between. I don't want to see Natrone Brooks on this field ever again. He was brutal. Butt cheeks, if you will. But the depth chart right now, I think, outside of Mike Hughes, who maybe we could replace Dee Alford with, is really good. But now with Billy Bowman's injury, you got to slide Dee out to that nickel. Mike is going to remain at the CB2. So we're not talking about this year. We're just talking about next year. So here's my question to you, Falcons fans. And if you're watching during our live chats, our live show, get down in the live chat and answer this question right now. Should Dee Alford be getting the starting CB2 spot going forward? Type S for start or type R for rotate, as in just kind of flip him around a little bit. Have him just kind of rotate in and out of the lineup. Now, like I said, it's not just all about Dee Alford. If the answer is no, if you can't give Dee that spot, you got to figure out a supplantant plan or a replacement plan. My apologies. So coming up, I've got some cornerback targets for 2026. 4 guys that you need to know. 2 that are currently in the NFL and 2 that are coming out of this year's draft. Before I get to that, got to tell you about our friends over at PrizePicks. You know what? The season has officially changed. Fall is absolutely here. And I got to be honest with you, the feeling of being right, it never gets old. But guess what? All the other sports actions going around alongside you. Basketball matchups, playoff pushes, it's all happening all at once. And while you and I are out here making decisions every single day, what gifts to buy, what to eat, which game to watch, there's only one place where it feels good to be right. That's our friends over at PrizePicks. It's very simple. It takes 30 seconds to make a lineup. That's all it takes. You pick your player, your more or your less. You watch your money multiply. Up to 2,000 times your cash this football season over on PrizePicks. They've also got this brand new feature alert that you can absolutely utilize. Basically, all you got to do is pick your lineup and you could cash out for early payouts. It really is that simple. So do yourself a favor. Download the PrizePicks app today. Use code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. PrizePicks. It is good to be right. So I previously mentioned that I've got some cornerback targets for you. 2 NFL free agents Atlanta could sign, 2 potential 2026 draft picks for next season. I'll start with the guys that are currently in the NFL and I'll work our way down. First guy coming into free agency in 2026, Eric Stokes of the Las Vegas Raiders. Believe it or not, he's one of the only bright spots of the Las Vegas Raiders defense. They are booty fire. I combined dumpster fire and booty cheeks. It's booty fire. But Eric Stokes is not that. He's actually been really, really good this year. And believe it or not, he went to Georgia. So Falcons fans, at least if you're a Georgia fan, Bulldogs, go Dogs, you'll know this guy. Stokes has been sensational this football season. There's one key statistic going around that through the first 12 weeks of the NFL season, he's actually one of the best corners in yards allowed per coverage snap. He's 3rd currently in the NFL in that statistic. Jack Jones is number 1. Joey Porter Jr. for the Steelers is number 2. But take a look at Eric Stokes right there. Oh, by the way, who's number 4? A.J. Terrell. He's right above A.J. Terrell in yards allowed per coverage snap. So what does that mean? He's excellent in zone coverage, which Atlanta has definitely tried to go into a more zone coverage style defense rather than going full man-to-man. Specifically, though, where his numbers align, very good as well. 28 tackles, 4 PBUs. No picks, but look at his coverage grade. So what does it tell you when you've got a really high coverage grade and a really low amount of interceptions? They're not throwing to your side of the ball. He's also really strong off the line of scrimmage. He's great in phase. He mirrors routes so beautifully. I love what I've watched from him so far this football season. Is he one of the greatest corners in the league? Probably not, but he's definitely having a great 2025 season. So you could see him as a cheaper option for the Atlanta Falcons if they wanted to throw at least some money at a corner. Let's go to the next guy. Okay, hold up. I know. Moose, we can't poach in division. Well, not so fast, my friend. If we were going to talk about a guy that was playing probably some of the best football out of any player at his position, you have to mention Jamel Dean. I don't know where this kid came from, but good frickin' God. He is great. This is probably the number 1 corner so far this football season in the NFL. And yes, that also goes for the guys like Pat Surtain. He is playing like the best cornerback in the NFL, and it's not close. He's actually one of the main reasons that the Buccaneers defense looks competent at times. And I hate giving credit to a division rival, but this guy is a stud. Just take a look at his numbers. They're unbelievable. 28 tackles, 6 PBUs, 3 INTs, and his coverage grade, 83.2. Okay. You've kind of sold me a little bit, Moose. He's playing great. What's it going to cost to get him? A lot. He's going to be a guy that's like $25 million a year. There's no doubt about it. But he's worth it. That is a lockdown CB1. I'll go as far as to say this. If you sign Jamel Dean, A.J. Terrell becomes your number 2. There's no doubt about it. Dean is one of the most talented corners in the league. He does everything well. He plays in phase. He's aggressive. He's a ball hawk. He's got the production. You name the things that you want him to do, he'll do it. He actually even plays up at the line of scrimmage and plays pressure. He's a pressure corner as well. He could do everything. He's the ultimate corner, but he is going to cost you a lot of money. Well, Moose, we don't want to go after anybody in free agency that's going to cost too much. Let's focus on the draft. Fine, you got it. Let's start with our first draft guy, Malik Muhammad from the University of Texas. Horns up, baby. Just kidding. Horns down, always. Malik Muhammad, I'm actually going to carry over this guy. I'm going to pair him with another dude that I think the Falcons could target, Dalen Everette. If you're a Bulldogs fan, you know this guy as well. So let's combo the two of them together here very briefly. Malik Muhammad and Dalen Everette have both played 10 games. Now, just take a look briefly at the numbers. So far, you would look at Malik Muhammad's numbers and you would say, well, he's got better numbers. But I'm going to be completely honest with you. Dalen Everette doesn't have the interceptions or the sacks or the TFLs because, personally, I don't think he gets targeted as much as Malik Muhammad does. I've watched both of these kids play, and from what I've seen, I'd take either of them. So let's start with Dalen. What do we know about Dalen? Straight line down the field speed and man coverage. The dude, when you get him in a foot race, good luck. He's going to stick with you step for step. That true north to south beeline speed up the sideline, unmatched. He's also got natural coverage skills in zone, and he can break on the ball really effectively. Great. All that sounds good. Where's the weakness? Hip flexibility. He needs to work a little bit on his change of direction. So if you were to make a double move on him and he doesn't get in that quickness of his turning of his hips, you can beat him. So that's probably why he's not going to be a lockdown CB1 or even a round 1 pick. This is definitely a round 2 or round 3 pick. Now let's flip over to Malik Muhammad. Fluid hips, so unlike Everette, he's actually got that functionality, that mobility in the hips that you like to see, and he's very quick twitch. He's got advanced communication skills, so he's got a big brain, understands how to play the position at a high level. But not nearly as physical, not nearly as aggressive, and not nearly the size with the tackling skill that Everette has. And that's kind of led to his lack of productivity for how smart that he is. So all the scouts are telling you, for a guy that's so smart, for a guy that's so quick twitch, why don't his numbers look better than they do? Well, he's not really that great of a tackler, and his skills don't translate to interceptions. That's kind of what they're telling you. But one's really smart, one's really athletic. If you had to take one of them, who would you take? I'm not entirely sure I know right now. I'd probably take Everette, simply because he's got the longer, more athletic style, the athletic build, that leaner, kind of bigger corner that you're looking for. But Malik Muhammad would be one of those plug-and-play guys that you could start day one, and he'd probably understand his own concept like Atlanta runs very well. That's going to do it for us in today's episode. A reminder to hit that subscribe button. Like today's video. Rise up, Falcons fans. And as always, be cool.